Hey guys, welcome to JD's Garage. Today we're going to be kind of doing a tutorial on how to diagnose no spark issues. Now, I don't know if it's like these four-wheelers tend to have this problem, but this is a 1987 Kawasaki Mojave 250, or as known as KSF 250As. So, the first thing you should probably check is if your spark plug is bad. Wherever my spark plug went, oh, it's down there. Now, you need to put it to a good ground, so I'd find like a bare metal, not like painted, kind of like how that part is bare metal. Set it on there and kick it over a couple times, and if you don't feel anything, which usually when you kick over one of the when you kick it over, it had to clear my throat there. When you kick it over, you should usually feel like a little shock through your fingers. If you don't feel that, but you do see spark, it's probably a really weak one. So you'd probably either change out your spark plug, and if that doesn't work, retrace through. Now, if you have no spark at all, you might want to check your kill switch. A way that you can bypass these switches is finding which wires connect to the switch, find them, and if they connect as easy as this one, you can just plug them in. But I figured out that you're supposed to do it on the wiring harness side, so something like this, you can bypass it that way. Or if that doesn't work, you could also bypass your key switch by unplugging the wires that come out, which are these two wires right here. You can just unplug them, and usually if you still have your switch plugged into its wires, you can just flip it on and off normally, just without a key switch. Now, you could also diagnose it by, like, if none of these work, diagnose it, check your stator. Usually this one is 1, 2, and then 3, 4, or no, 1, 2, 2, 3, and then like 4, 5. These typical stators for the 250s are supposed to test out between 1 to 2 ohms. Ohms is like a resistance level. So if you have high resistance, it's not gonna allow the current to flow through like it's supposed to. Now, if you replace your stator, it still doesn't work. Take a look at your CDI box. Now, sadly, that there is no real way to test these, and basically, I mean, you can, but it's just really difficult to. But that could definitely be your issue, which is what I'm thinking on this one. But that's about it with diagnosing spark issues. You could also make sure you check your grounds, make sure they're hooked up to a good ground, make sure all the wires are plugged in all the way, like all the ones that need to be plugged in to run, because I made that mistake a couple times. Now on this on this stator, the connectors going in like this, they don't test out really at all. So I have to get a new stator, and probably a new CDI box. That a CDI box is used to control your ignition and to allow it to flow correctly. So you could also check your pulsator. Your pulsator is located inside, usually connected to the inside of this shell. That could be not pulsing. But if you have to replace a stator, I would just get the new pulsator, stator, just get new stuff. Otherwise, you could spend money on a stator, and then you think, this doesn't work. So then you don't even think about your pulsator, and you go buy, like, let's say a CDI box. CDI boxes run like, these ones run like over 100 like per one that are used. So I just recommend buying both of them for that type of situation, because I have made that mistake and it sucks, trust me. Okay, so this stator went bad. I'm pretty sure because these wires got pinched in the shell, like they were pinched right here, and it ripped them. So I resoldered them, then put heat shrink around them, and it tested out okay after. But then when I plugged it into the wiring harness and then unplugged it, it was like no resistance levels. Either they're very high or not at all. So these, I don't know if, like I said before, I don't know if these types of four-wheelers tend to have this issue with no like spark in a lot of areas, because troubleshooting can be very difficult sometimes, and especially in some certain scenarios, because it could be your ground got dirty from riding trails, or some of your wires could have like rattled, like, and then unplugged. Some things you just don't like notice right away. Like it's you really just have to sit down and then think, and then go back at it. Now, what I've extremely learned from the past working on four-wheelers is to not work when you're mad, because my last one, I didn't really know what was going on with it. It was leaking oil and making this ticking noise, which now come to think of it, it was a valve tick. And then it started like throwing timing and stuff, so it would blow smoke and all that, just wouldn't tune right. So, and then I just started taking the whole engine apart, like working mad, like I said not to. I screwed it all up. There were a lot of missing screws because you didn't do it right and all that. Like, trust me guys, it's not worth like doing it right then. Like, you should probably wait 1 to 2 hours, sit, think on it, all that, because you could run into the same situations that I did. So That was all today. Uh, First video, kind of rough. It'll get better, trust me. Alright, this is JD's Garage. Peace.